special edition of the Captain's Blog. Today we shot the big blog out at the thing, and I've just been working on a million things here since we got back, so this is going to be a special little thing. Since I got my first helicopter, everybody has been on me about, why don't you 3D print parts? Parts are expensive. Why don't you 3D print parts? You can 3D print parts. Because it's actually more expensive to 3D print the part. And because for all the little helicopters like the Nano, everything below the 130, the landing gear attaches by little pins that just are press fit. You can't 3D print it, it just won't work. So I broke the landing gear on my 130X. The 130X landing gear attaches via bolts. So I had the great and powerful Mike CAD it up, because I'm like, what the hell? I'll give it a shot. And we 3D printed, Mike CAD'd it, editor printed it, and I put 3D printed landing gear on the helicopter. You can see I can do it on this one because it attaches by bolts. Now it looks like a cartoon. It cost about 10 times more than if I had just bought the damn things. And they're absolutely rigid, there's no give to it. But we're gonna try it out and see how she flies, okay? So I figured...
It should be more flimsy?
What my fear is by having it be so rigid, be so heavy duty, that if you come down too hard, the landing gear won't break.
Something else.
Instead of the $10 landing gear breaking, the $50 frame breaks or something like that.
It looks like it could land on water.
It does look like it could land on water. So we're going to test it out and see what we can do. We'll load it up with a battery, because I want to see how our weight distribution is once we put a battery in it. I have not flown this since we did the surgery. So if it crashes in 10 seconds, then such is life. Here, we'll arm our radio, we'll grab our thing. Okay, we're good. Let's fire it up.
This one's hard to fly, right?
Yeah. This one's rather hard. It's alright. It's easier to fly than the MCP or MCPX BL. It's easier than that one. The MCPX BL is the hardest one I got to fly. The Nano is actually pretty docile in comparison. Alright, let's take her outside and see what she does. This is not an indoor helicopter. Guess how I learned that lesson. You're gonna need to shade. The funny thing is, I broke the landing gear on this, demonstrating to somebody how hard it was to break landing gear. We got a little bit of wind, but we should be alright. Clear helicopter.
Does it fly different?
It's alright. It's a lot heavier. Oh, that's yours. It actually flies pretty decent. It's kind of like a weird take on training gear, just put really heavy landing gear on it. It trims out fine to hold a nice stable hover. It doesn't do anything really screwy with the weight.
How much heavier is this one, I wonder?
It's a lot heavier than the original landing
Do we
gear.
have a scale that goes into grams?
Yeah, we have a scale that goes into milligrams. I gotta admit, the new landing gear, I personally think for basic training flights is actually better because it's a lot wider and more stable, it's a lot heavier. I would not make a habit of making my own landing gear.
It's pretty much the same weight, I thought. I didn't measure for after.
I've lost a lot of my punch out. Yeah, I can't punch out like that. It's probably about 3 times as heavy as the original landing gear. My guess is that landing gear there probably weighs about 20 grams. Because it's printed pretty solid. It's not hollow. A lot of wind. As far as you can see it. With one this tiny, that ain't that far.
You landed on top of that van over there?
Can I land it on the van?
Yeah.
If I didn't have a 15-mile-an-hour crosswind, it wouldn't be hard to do at all. I'm not a very good helicopter pilot. Most of the time, I'm a really good helicopter mechanic. Because I can't fly them worth of shit, I crash a lot, so I got really good at fixing it. There are 10-year-old kids who can take this thing and turn it into knots in the air. I'm just happy to keep it in the air, especially with this much wind. This is pretty much the smallest helicopter you can get and fly it outside. If I was trying to do just this with my little Nano, you'd be over that dude's house by now. Yeah, this little helicopter is capable of doing amazing things. The pilot is not. The lad here is the meat circle. But it flies. It flies good. I am really impressed. I didn't expect it to fly this well with that much wind. So I will concede that 3D printed landing gear under certain applications is good and has a place, but as a rule, I'm still going to buy my landing gear. I might let you 3D print me a nano frame just to see how that turns out. So there you have it. Test of 3D printed giant landing gear. I kind of want to find some snow. It looks so weird.
All right, guys. Well,
Thank you for coming.
thank you.
Welcome to Geek Crew.
I'll see you soon.
New
Thanks
member.
for the tour. Hey, all.
Hey, tell them, here, come here. Tell them who you are and why you're here and what you think of the Geek Group. It's your first day, you're about to sign up for a membership.
Yep. So I'm Scott. I live here in Grand Rapids. I came for a tour here for work and kind of fell in love. Just awesome stuff everywhere for me to play with. I used to work with my hands to make my money. Now I sit behind a computer, so I'm looking for something to do to actually do some work again. So here I am.
So tell other people why they should be in a Geek Group.
Because first of all, I walked around here and met probably 5 different people, each one of them honest, nice people, willing to help, which where else are you going to go to find that? And it's a great way to spend your time actually using your hands as opposed to getting yourself into trouble, because we all know that's far too easy to do. And I don't know what else.
And we totally don't put people on the spot when shove a camera in their face.
No one will stick a camera in your face, not even one.
No, what I want to do is you're functionally a virgin to the space. You've been here once before
Yes.
for a tour. You were amazingly impressed. You came back today, you signed up, became a member.
Yep.
And that's a powerful statement. And you're a guy who professionally works in business development and entrepreneurship and all that. And for you to come here and have the reaction that you did is just rock star. It's awesome. It's exactly what we want. And I wanted you to communicate that to them, because there's about 1,000 people that are going to see this in the next 48 hours.
I think Chris just said it way better than I could have. And I agree with everything he said. So I work with an organization called GR Current here in Grand Rapids. We help with startup companies, and this type of space is something that's desperately needed. So it's fantastic to be involved, and I look forward to spending more time here.
Welcome to the Geek.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir. That's it. That's all I got. You got to go home now. I'm going to go play with helicopters.